see that? I can do shitty videos with memes in it too. Haha. I'm kidding. Welcome back, everyone. This is the soul of a proud hamster here with a Dark Souls 3 PvP video, but for real this time. Now you may be wondering, why are you doing this to yourself? Why? We know that you don't like Dark Souls 3 PvP. Please don't show us another ranty video. Well, I mean, Dark Souls Remaster is coming out, and I'm gonna play that. This is the announcement. This is the announcement. I'm gonna be playing like every other YouTuber in YouTube. I'm gonna be making videos on Dark Souls Remaster, but for quite a long time, I'm hoping. What about the Bloodborne videos? Well, I still have over 60 gigs of footage, so those aren't going anywhere anytime soon. I'm gonna predict that maybe I'm gonna be getting more views on my Dark Souls Remaster videos just because they're more relevant. I don't really care. YouTube isn't my job, so whatever. Those of you that are already subscribed and you enjoy my content, thank you very much. If some of you have probably stumbled upon this particular video by accident, because I will be talking about the Dark Souls Remaster, and I'm gonna put tags in this video so that it's relevant to people searching for Dark Souls Remaster videos. If you stumbled upon this channel by accident, this is my format. It's by no means original. It's really simple, maybe perhaps even a little bit boring for some of you. I just have video and I commentate over it, whether it be commentary on what's happening in the video itself, or I'm just talking about certain topics that are just in my mind and I feel like covering them and sharing my thoughts with you. Just a really simple chill time with having a little chill talk time with whoever's watching and whoever's listening. That's pretty much what I do, and I'm hoping that I'll be doing that for quite a long time. So I'm not gonna tell you to subscribe. That's up to you. If you like the content, go ahead. But again, YouTube isn't my job. I don't plan on becoming a big Souls content creator YouTuber. I don't do that shit. I'm not on board with that shit. So if you enjoy it, by all means, please subscribe, so you can be notified whenever I upload stuff. But basically, this is what I do. I just cover topics and I just talk a lot. So yeah. Another thing is that I have two videos that are completely unrelated to anything video games. You may have noticed. They are both instrumentals of... So did you see that Ultra Greatsword combo? My goodness. Team combos. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Hold on. My two videos that I have are from Susumu Hirasawa. Now that man is amazing. You should check out his music. I will occasionally upload maybe some edits that I do to some of his instrumental tracks because I like to edit audio sometimes. I've been doing it for a while, and I like to share that with the Hirasawa fans out there. So that's just me sort of contributing to the fans. It has nothing to do with my channel or the content that I'm going to primarily be uploading here, so that's just sort of like an extra thing. You don't really have to watch those. I do recommend that you listen to them because there's nothing to watch. They're just a picture of Hirasawa with the track in the background, but it's a different type of music. If you like it, by all means listen to it, and if you don't, then just don't, it's cool. I just upload it to share. But I just felt like I had to explain that because it's a little bit weird that I keep uploading that stuff without any context. But yeah, there you go. Anyway, this is the second time that I'm recording stuff for this video, because the topic that I wanted to cover was either Dark Souls Remaster or why I don't play Dark Souls 3 anymore, because this footage is the only footage that I have saved of Dark Souls 3, and they're all pretty much just team fights. The first time I recorded it, I went on a very long rant about why I don't agree with people treating this game like, or all these games like fighting games, that it becomes my problem when I get messages, salty people, telling me that this is a fighting game, and you know that's stupid. And I went on a long rant, and I don't think I should rant too much about that because my philosophy is if you don't enjoy something, stay the hell away from it. And sure, that doesn't apply to everything, and that doesn't mean that you shouldn't put out criticism. And I do have a lot to say, but I think that those thoughts and those words that I shared, or that I'm not gonna share because I deleted that commentary, I think they're highly unnecessary at this point because the game is, you know, it's not old, but it's dated a little bit at this point. Most people are gonna be playing Dark Souls Remaster. My words are not gonna change anyone's mind on the subject. People are gonna try hard. People are gonna keep pretending that this is a fighting game. That's the way that they have fun. So go right ahead. I'm not gonna share my thoughts on it because I think it doesn't contribute anything to you, the listener, and or to me or to the community as a whole. Because if I could change opinions, or if anyone could change opinions of other people on the internet, I think we would all be a little bit kinder to each other. And we all know that's not going to happen. So hey, there you go. Now in this particular fight, and what I am going to do is I'm going to commentate the video and what's actually happening. You see this guy, he's tryharding. What he doesn't know is that where I am, it was like 4 a.m. I was barely conscious and I was still kicking his ass. This is by no means gloating or saying that I can defeat meta weapons by using ultra great swords, or you know, that this is somehow proof of, you know, that the meta is wrong, or fucking whatever, you know. This is just me playing the video game. I'm a big tanky dude. I'm a fan of heavy armor. I'm a fan of ultra great swords. That's what I do. This build was actually just a 135 build. I leveled him up for no fucking reason. I just do shit, guys. I don't plan. I don't obsess over optimizing every goddamn thing about a character for the sake of PvP. That's not what I do. At this point, any of you that have watched my videos, you know that I build characters. I don't have... What most people have is a 3D model. What the game gives you, a 3D model, which is just a representation of their stat sheet. They're using the stats, not a character. That's not what I do. I use a character. Now, granted, it's really difficult for me, or it was really difficult for me to make characters for Dark Souls 3 because I just didn't enjoy it as much as previous Souls games. I tried to recreate my Dark Souls 1 character, which you'll figure out what that is when the game comes out. It's really stupid. You're going to be wondering why I do that shit, but it'll be a nice surprise. I'm not going to spoil it right now. But you could probably get a hint by watching this character and another character that I'm going to show a little bit later on. Yeah. So this guy switched to the shield and straight sword, and, you know, I realized it. And by the way, his teammate was actually really chill. Like, he was totally cool with letting me 1v1 this dude, because we both had our unspoken respect, because we were both just big tanky dudes. So I don't know if that's the reason why he didn't attack me, but I sure hope so, because it's having tanky dudes like that in this game is just, it's a rarity, really. You may be saying no, it's not, but to me it is, because I'm not tanky or using... Did you see that? Oh my god, that guy was just... He didn't know what was coming. Using tanky armor as a choice for your character is very different from just putting on shit for the sake of defense. This particular armor combination is something that I enjoyed because I like the way it looks. It may not be the best fashion, but yeah. At this point, the guy switched to a spear, and at this point, I'm laughing my ass off because I'm half conscious, I'm half awake. It's like 4 a.m. This guy was trying so hard to win, and I'm just playing the video game in whatever way I felt like playing. I am by no means a competitive player, whatever the fuck that means in Dark Souls. I just play the way that I learned how to play this game. And yeah, I mean... I had to laugh so as to not make myself cry because because I find it a little sad that this is what people do now. They just try to min-max and optimize and follow whatever meta their favorite try-hard YouTuber told them is the meta, and just it's a little bit sad. So you see, he even throws down the fucking point down meme gesture. Um, and just it's that sort of shit that just sort of drove me away from playing this game. Um, I'm not gloating by any means, but I did beat a lot of people that played in a really try-hardy way. Um, like I said again, this is not me saying that I'm better or that I'm really good at this game. I don't believe that there is such a thing as like being a master or a pro at this game, because that's the thing. People use fighting game lingo, and he's a scrub because he doesn't like to admit that there's such a thing as high level play in this game. And it's like there's no such thing as high level play in this game. You either press R1 or you don't. There's nothing pro about that. See, there I go. I'm ranting about it. I'm sorry. But no, really, look, this guy had a Farron fun sword, and the way I dealt with it was I eventually switched to my ultra great sword. At this point, the character switched. This is a quality character now. I switched the stats. I switched the armor a little bit. I'm actually fighting alongside my friend, my real life friend, and he has problems fighting this sword, the Farron greatsword. Because it's weird to him, but the way that I dealt with it was I lured away the guy so he would attack me, and then I dealt with the attacks by switching to the profane sword, which gives me more hyper armor. So you see here, this guy, and I apologize, I have sniffles, I'm sorry. This guy's also tryharding. He has a straight sword, he's using everything he can, and just he's a little bit tryhardy, not as tryhard as the other guy, but still tryhardy. My friend that you see there, he's basically a mage sort of dude, and he uses the Moonlight Greatsword. He loves the Moonlight Greatsword, and that's something that I don't know. That's just something that people don't do much anymore. People don't use their favorite weapons. It's depressing, man. I know I keep rambling about it, but it's a disappointing. It's just very disappointing. He sticks to his guns. He uses the build that he likes to use, and I sadly couldn't recreate the build that I like to use in this game. The closest that I could get was having a dark build with a dark greatsword. Again, I will tell you what the build is. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna drop the whole "I'll tell you later" thing. I'm just gonna post a Mugen Monkey link, and I'll show you what my Dark Souls 1 build was, and what my Dark Souls Remaster build is gonna be, because I'm gonna recreate it. It's not optimized for PvP. It's not for try-hardy tournaments. It's not for the Evo 2018 Dark Souls Remaster tournament. It's just a character that I made, one of the first characters I ever made in Dark Souls. Actually, the first character I ever made in Dark Souls. The first proper character that I made after doing some research, that is. And I enjoyed it so much that it became my main character in Dark Souls. So I'm going to showcase that in the future when the remaster comes out. As you watch this, I'm going to stop talking about the try-hardy person here. He gets really salty. They all do. I don't know why. But I got that a lot in this game. I got a lot of people that got really mad at me. They actually sent me messages. Like, again, some guy at some point sent me a message. He was saying, because I told him, don't get so mad because don't take this so seriously. This isn't a fighting game. And he replied with, yes, it is. This is a legitimate fighting game. To which I can't even. If I have the message saved, I will post it in the next video and I'll show you what I meant by that. Or maybe I can just post a screenshot of it, maybe in the description. I don't know. But you know, shit like that. I got that all the time in this game. I don't know if it's the way that I play that pisses people off, or the fact that they were losing to stuff that they thought they shouldn't be losing to. I don't know what it was, but I got a lot of hate in this game. A lot of salty players. So anyway, back to talking to about the remaster. A lot of people that transition from this game to the remaster are actually gonna have a hell of a time dealing with poise. I think that this game has turned a lot of people into R1 mashers because it works. In this game, it works. In Dark Souls 3, it works. And when they realize that, you know, armor does something in Dark Souls 1, and as far as I know, as of the whenever the fuck I upload this video, whatever the day today is that you're watching, as of today, there has been no changes to poise in the remaster as far as I know. They may change the poise value of armor around. I don't know. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. But, you know, a lot of players are going to have a hell of a time dealing with it. I never had a problem with poise because I am, again, a fan of heavy armor and ultra great swords and all that. It's what I primarily use. What you're seeing now, most of the footage is me experimenting with other characters. This is a generic knight. But primarily I stick to ultra great sword stuff. And I think that once people realize that they can't R1 mash their way out of danger with a straight sword, I think there's going to be a lot of salty people. I think there's going to be a lot of hate mail. I think there's going to be a lot of people requesting for FromSoft to remove poise. I personally can't wait. You see here, this guy, he took the time to go back and point down, and it's like, why are you so pissed off? There's no way that you're having fun and you just go out of your way to point down at someone. Like, that's depressing, man. People are just taking it so seriously. But anyway, I'm using this generic knight just because, you know, whatever. But yeah, the remaster, I can't wait, man. The problem that I do have, and I've always had with Dark Souls in general, was the instant backstabs. That, for me, is the one thing that they should have changed in the remaster. They should have made them like they are here in Dark Souls 3, where it's like some grab or whatever. It works more for the online. I think the instant backstabs are also going to cause a lot of people to get pissed off. But to me, the poise was never really a problem. It was just so much complaining about it that eventually they just changed it. Really all that it needed, and I've had several ideas as to how poise should work. One of the ideas that I have is that poise should be exclusive for either specific weapon attacks of specific weapon categories, and the full Dark Souls 1 poise should be available only to people that dedicate stats to wearing heavy armor along with a heavy weapon. So I think that a good idea would be to, like, for the coding for it should be that the game should check for heavy armor pieces. If your character does not have complete full heavy armor pieces on, meaning that you can't really mix and match. You can't put a heavy armor chest with medium armor legs and arms. The game would check if you have all pieces being heavy armor, and if you have a heavy or ultra class sort of weapon. If you have all that, then the character will be granted a Dark Souls 1 poise. But then, of course, you would have to balance it out in terms of, you know, the armor should be heavier then. The weapons should... They don't have to be heavier. The big weapons are already heavy. But, you know, the armor's weight should be adjusted to be heavier. Maybe put some stat requirements for specific armor sets, like having specific amounts of endurance, stuff like that. And only the players that invest in being a big tanky build are the ones that are going to have a Dark Souls 1 poise. Everyone else is going to get regular, normal Dark Souls 3 hyper armor. I think that system could work. In theory, I don't know in practice. Maybe you don't agree with it. That's fine. I'm just sharing my thoughts about it, you know. Poise has always been something very controversial, and I mean, I'm very much looking forward to the extreme amounts of hate and anger when the remaster comes out. Because I assure you, a lot of people that haven't played Dark Souls 1, they're in for a surprise. They're in for a very big surprise. They disconnected. Yeah, we got that a lot. Me and my friend, we got that all the time. People disconnecting. That is just ridiculous. But again, I mean, I play this game with a different mindset. I play it for the sake of the characters. I play it in the ways that I wanted to play them. I don't follow the words of any YouTubers that tell me what's good and what's bad. You know what? Even most of the weapons that I use them for the way they look. So, for example, I like the way that the greatsword looks in Dark Souls 1. I am not a fan of it in Dark Souls 2 and 3. I know that it's a I guess you a trope, you know, the big humongous sword, but I see no reason as to why they couldn't add a big sword like that but have it be separate from the greatsword. The ultra greatsword called the greatsword. It's such a confusing thing. I don't know why they ever did that shit. But the greatsword in Dark Souls 1 is my favorite weapon, and in fact, it's the weapon that I primarily use. It's my favorite. I love the way it looks. It is my favorite weapon ever in Dark Souls 1. Probably in Dark Souls in general, my favorite weapon across all. Well, that's not true. The Pursuer's Ultra Great Sword is also a beautiful Ultra Great Sword. It's probably my second favorite still, but the first one is still the Dark Souls 1 Great Sword. But, you know, I pick my weapons according to the way they look, you know, so I don't follow this tryhardy stuff and just I don't have a problem with people having fun their own way. But I'm just thinking that because that mentality has spread so much, a lot of people are gonna get extremely angry at the way things work in Dark Souls 1 Remaster. And I think some of you know that too. They're gonna have to deal with, you know, people flipping around with hornet rings, getting one shot by said people. All sorts of gimmicks. I mean, Tranquil Walk of Peace. Oh my God. Don't even get me started on that one. There's a lot of gimmicky stuff in Dark Souls 1 that I consider to be extremely fun. And I think that's just sort of a theme with these games. The fun factor sort of went down after Dark Souls 1 because I think that someone at FromSoft, they sort of, you know, bent over backwards for people. That lag, man? Look at that fucking. They bent over backwards for the complainers and the people that just constantly asked for changes. And yeah, look at this. Did you know that you could do this? Yeah, that's actually a speedrun strat, but it's not supposed to look that glitchy. I have a tendency to break video games a little bit. But yeah, this character you're watching now, this is the closest I could get to a Dark Souls 1 recreation of my character that I enjoyed using back in Dark Souls 1. I didn't enjoy using it that much here because, I mean, it just wasn't the same. I actually did try to have a lightning infusion, and I did in the end, at the end of me playing this game. I did switch back to lightning, even though it's worse than dark, but I didn't care. I don't care about optimizing, like I said. I just enjoy lightning because it looks cool. You know, the effect, it looks cool. I like that. You may be wondering, you know, but dark is better though. Use dark. It's like, no, man, I like the effect. Is it a stupid reason to pick something that's worse than dark? Is it a valid reason? For me, yeah, it is. It's again, if I'm not having fun, I don't see the point of it. The only times that I will ever try hard is if I'm sponsored and I have to win tournaments for a specific video game. Then I'm gonna try hard and pick the most valid equipment or the most top tier character or what have you, you know. If I'm not tryharding, if I'm just at home playing a video game, I'm gonna try to have fun. I wanted to have a character that had lightning because I like the lightning infusion. That's all there is to it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Dark Souls remaster because I'm very interested in seeing how the new players are gonna adapt and deal with the not the changes because you know Dark Souls came before Dark Souls 3 obviously, but how they're gonna deal with the system changes when they move from Dark Souls 3 back to 1. A lot of them didn't get really deep into the PvP of Dark Souls 1, especially the more known players, the more known YouTubers, I guess. Because back in the day, I mean, I only remember a handful of people that are still around. You know, you got the Peverson, Jay Blackmail, who was the one that inspired me to even start making videos for this channel. Oroboro, there's Yuka's Legion. There's also another one. There were a bunch more. They're still around, and I'm guessing that most of them are going to come back for Dark Souls 1 remaster. But they already know how Dark Souls 1 works. I'm interested in knowing if the new blood, the new kids, if the new kids that started with Dark Souls 2 and 3, if they're prepared for all the gimmicky bullshit that's coming their way. So yeah, guys, if you want to see that Dark Souls remastered content, please stay tuned because it's coming. I'm definitely going to upload footage of the network test. So look forward to that. What you're seeing right now is an invasion. This is actually the very last invasion that I ever did in Dark Souls 3. After this, I did a challenge run with a friend of mine. We kind of left it halfway, and after that, I uninstalled, and that was it. So yeah, I don't know if you noticed it, but my gameplay isn't exactly traditional. You're gonna see it with this character. This is actually Halden. You know, remember him? My character with an axe, white theme in Bloodborne. This is him. I made him here before I made him in Bloodborne. But yeah, my character is always with a theme. I don't care that I'm blocking a sword that has dark infusion on it. I don't care. And then you're gonna see that R2 and Tara 1. Who does that? I do. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.